Hello, guys. It's Glurmit here, and we're back with the podcast. We kind of did 2 episodes, and then I disappeared, and the Optimist here had a kid and got busy. So, congratulations to you. Would you like to introduce yourself so people who maybe don't know who you are find out who you are?
Yeah. Appreciate for having me back for this. It was a lot of fun doing those first couple podcast episodes. But yeah, for those of you who do not know, I am the Optimist. I've made a couple Galaxy of Heroes videos here and
Hmm.
there, but I'm a working man. I'm a family man. I just had my first child. My daughter was born 6 months ago. So life has been pretty busy, but I've gotten to a point where I can continually play in this game at the level that I am right now and make time to do the podcast here and to make videos with Glurmit. So again, appreciate you for having me on, and looking forward to seeing where this goes.
Thank you. Seriously, congratulations on the child, by the way. Um,
Thank you.
no, it's a big step for anyone. So, congratulations on that. Now, guys, some of you will know what the podcast is. Some of you won't. The podcast is basically that's the name of it. Just so you guys know, we don't have a definitive name for this just yet, which is it's just called the SWGOH podcast. It's going to be uploaded to YouTube in video format. As you can see our faces. You can also just listen to it and not watch it. We will sometimes be showing stuff on the screen, but whenever we do, we will be explaining it to the best of our ability so that you don't have to have access to the video to understand what we're talking about. Imagine listening to like a football game, European or American football here, on the radio. The way they explain it would mean that you don't have to be able to see it to understand it. Now, each video will come out every other Wednesday, so there'll probably be 2 videos a month. They're going to range from about half an hour to an hour long, and then we're going to try our best to actually get them uploaded to Spotify for those of you who maybe want to listen while you're at work or maybe coming home from work each and every day. Is there anything you want to add here, or do you think we've kind of covered that?
No, I think we got it covered there.
Perfect. So today's episode is more of an introduction before we dive into some great topics, which will give you guys a bit of a sneak peek for what is to come in the coming weeks and months. We have modding focused podcasts coming. We have some on. You can jump in here because my mind's gone blank. I'm not gonna lie. There. Let me scroll up and go read them all out. I've got them all written down here, guys. So we also have some here, such as farming guides. We have some focus on lightspeed bundles, the pros and cons of them, and whether or not you should be buying them, whether or not buying them is even efficient to some extent. We have also got proving grounds focus ones coming up, account building, foundations of building account, developing account, all of those following topics there. And basically each week or each other week, we're going to be going really deep into the topic, and we're going to be going from as less bias. That's terrible English, but I hope you guys understand. We're not going to be biased when we're going and talking about these things. So, for example, when we're talking about farming guides, the Optimist, whilst they have made videos, is not a content creator who uploads daily, right? You're not going to go on their channel and you're not going to find a farming guide. And do feel free to interrupt at any point if you do wish.
Yeah.
Whereas myself or other content creators, we obviously publish our own, which if we're publishing a farming guide, we usually think that is the best method. When we're talking about anything on the podcast, we're going to go from a direction which we try to remove our own self-interests. So even if I've said something or the Optimist has said something somewhere else, maybe in a Discord call or chat with one of you guys who's listening, or maybe I've said it in a YouTube video, we may actually end up disagreeing with what we've already said, if that makes sense to everyone who's listening.
Yeah, pretty much more or less. I know
So,
we have a lot of topics. We have potential guests in the works,
yep.
and we would love your guys' feedback with if there's anything that you guys really want us to cover. I can't remember if you said it or not, but we're going to be staying away from covering the news
Hmm.
each week that comes with each podcast episode. There might be times where we might cover things that
Hmm.
have just occurred, but that's not the goal. Our goal is to kind of make these singular episodes so that they are you can go and watch them at any time, whether you're going back and binging all the episodes, or whether you wanted to catch up on things that you missed. At least to the best of our abilities, our opinions are going to be accurate for this time, and we want to be giving some advice that can kind of stand the test of time a little bit. So, just a little bit of what to expect with what's coming up.
Awesome. I think you summed up perfectly. Yeah, guys, we're not going to be concentrating necessarily on what's happening today or this week, because like we said, we want these topics to, well, you said it yourself, stand the test of time. So we may mention a datacron, or we may mention a specific strategy, but if it's not something that seems to work long term, and we probably won't be including that in the podcast. So obviously today's one is more of a pilot, it's an introduction. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring up my account and then your account, and we're just going to introduce ourselves in terms of the SWGOH world, because why would you guys be listening to a podcast by two guys if you don't even know why or who we are? So hopefully this all works, guys. This is all going to be in one take. The first couple podcasts may be run less smoothly than the ones in the future. We're trying to keep it unedited because we think it's good just for capturing genuine reactions. So let me just switch this over. Did it work? All right, just give me a quick talk here. All right. Yeah. All right, 1 second. They cannot hear you for 1 second, but I can add you in very easily here. Right, where are you? Here you are. Add. Yeah. Talk for me again real quick.
Yep. Just got your accounts pulled up. Yep.
Nice. Okay, so we'll start with my account here, and then we'll move to your account. So, I am 12.1 million GP as of today. The date of recording is the 2nd of February, unless you're American and it's still the 1st, because I'm a time traveler. Just the British buff. Right. So here's the thing, guys. I took a break from playing this game. I took 2 breaks from playing this game. One was a short 2 to 3 month break, and that was due to lots of reasons. I have a video on my channel documenting that. The second one was because I actually bought a house, and you have to work a lot, and there's loads of other stresses that come with it. And I basically said, look, I don't have time to play the game to make content creation, so I stopped temporarily. I've come back. Now, before, I would have said I had a pretty big account for, the general idea of the game. I was just before 12 million GP. At the time, I had everything except from Leviathan unlocked. I come back to the game, and I am not in that position anymore, although I am working on it. So in terms of what I don't have, I do not have Balin, I do not have Bo, and I do not have Ahsoka or Jar Jar. In terms of everything I'm missing, I do not have many conquest units. So that is really my weak spot on my account. But in terms of what I'll be bringing to this podcast is I make content creation, so I want to spread all the knowledge I have. I've been playing this game for many, many years. In fact, both of us have been playing many years. We've been friends for a long time. And we wanted it to come from the perspective of someone who makes content and someone who doesn't. Because personally, and I'm sure many of you listening will agree with this, sometimes basically content creators sometimes fall into this issue where, because we're in echo chambers of some sort, where we have basically 2 fan bases, one that hate us and one that love us, and whatever you do, they're either going to critique you or they're going to basically say this is perfect. You never have that middle ground. So hopefully by having my input, and then the optimist as well, who is obviously someone who has no pressure on them, we should get more of a balanced approach. In terms of my favorite character in the game, it's very obvious, guys. If you don't know, it is Young Han. It's always been Young Han. I'm actually kind of gutted. So to give you guys an idea of my Young Han, because I know some of you can see it on the screen, and if you aren't watching it, I'm going to describe it to you. Think of the nicest thing you can think of, and then think of something better. That's my Young Han, guys. It was the number 1 for offense. It was top 10 for speed. Unfortunately, during my absence, someone went and put an extra 2 offense. I'm not making this up. And now I'm only the 2nd highest offense Young Han in the game. But let me just tell you guys, I've been using this to max banner Malgus for over a year now. in 3v3 Grand Arena. So that's a little bit about my account, a little bit about what I like, and let me just put your ally code in. So do you want to give me your ally code? I'll type it in here.
Yep. My ally code is 823
Yep.
752 793.
Awesome. Let me just make sure. There we go. I'm just making sure if it's still recording. All right. So do you want to talk us a little bit about your account?
Yep. So I've been playing the game for, gosh, I think about 6 years. My account was originally one that I think I picked this game up like right when it first launched. I played it long enough to get put into arena shards and all like that, and then I just stopped playing because I wasn't interested at the time. And when I finally started playing, I kind of had some catching up to do. I did buy the um, Hyperdrive bundle back when it was a bigger deal. Um, so it doesn't really mean much now, but I'm at 12.2 million GP. I remember when Glurmit and I first met, and we were at different levels. I know Glurmit had a lot more GP than I did at the time, and I think now just with him taking time off, I've look at this now. I've surpassed you in GP.
Not for long.
I have, gosh, let me see here. I've got almost every Journey Guide character. I think the only ones that I'm missing are Balin, Ahsoka, and Lord Vader. I'm currently farming Lord Vader right now. They've just got a few relic characters left before I can start the events. But I like to play in as many of the different modes as I can. So I try to have as well balanced of a roster. I know my goal last year was to take every character to gear 12. And now this year, my goal is to take every character to gear 13 and just slowly bringing my roster up. I have a pretty balanced approach with my Omicron allocation. My goal this year is to give every TB and or PVE Omicron. I give a decent amount of GAC and TW ones, but I really like the PVE modes in this game. And I know Glurmit just put out a video a little bit ago about TB Omicrons, and I definitely share that opinion and am pro TB Omicrons. My mod and Datacron game is not as good as it used to be. I would say prior to my daughter being born, I was pushing Kyber 1, and now I'm more hovering around Kyber 3. I'll jump into Kyber 2 every once in a while, but I mainly just stay around Kyber 3. I don't quite have the time to play as heavily in GAC as I would like, but I do enough just to float by. I do have the difference between me and Glurmit is I have every conquest character. I'll get them. I red crate every conquest, and I generally will go and take them up to gear 12 or whatever relic level I desire. So that's the main difference between Glurmit's and I's accounts is that I have a Queen Amidala up and running at relic 9. I've got I don't know, whatever conquest character I've got them. So
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a little bit about me and my account.
I just want to jump in there and say, even before my breaks, I still didn't even red crate. I don't like Conquest. There is nothing that annoys me more. And that is what I mean when I say we're going to talk about bias, guys. Because when we talk about Conquest, I'm going to be talking about the positives. I am someone that does not like it because it takes too long. I understand that since I've come back from my break, it's a little bit more manageable. But yeah, so...
And that's one more thing about Conquest, just to make sure that you guys don't have any excuses. Even with a newborn child and working full time, the lack of sleep and the attention that requires with raising an infant, for any of my parents out there that are listening, you know what I'm talking about, the level of time that it takes. I still found time to red crate Conquest. So there's no excuse. Go do your feats, get red crate your Conquest. Just go do it.
I took that personally. I'm just going to put that out there. Right. Let me switch back to the other screen real quick. All right, guys, we are back. I don't know if it has audio when we switch. That's why I reintroduce ourselves. Obviously, the pilot episode today is just going to be shorter than the other ones. That is our introduction to who we are. Obviously, like I said, I'm a content creator. I've been making content for this game for nearly 3 years now. Bear in mind, 1 year of that is in my absence. So, we do have the knowledge needed. Obviously, I would say, if I'm completely honest here, guys, the Optimist, when it comes to mechanics, everything in the game, I would actually argue they are probably more knowledgeable than myself. To the point where, you're probably going to agree with this. I have hit you up many times in the past saying, would this work? Would this not work?
There's definitely been some videos that you either have or haven't put out because I've said that's not a real counter. Don't put that out there. Like you just got lucky, or oh no, like that's a thing. Like you should go make a video about this.
Yeah. So it does happen. Obviously, I do make content creation. I never claim to be the greatest player in the world. I'm not. I'm far from it. But basically, the idea of this podcast is for two people, one who's extremely knowledgeable and one who loves to be on camera. I'm just kidding there, guys. I'm not that bad at the game, I promise. But anyway, the idea is to have two of us with different balanced views, covering different topics and going everything. You've seen the accounts. You've seen that we can build rosters. I just want to put it out there that I probably do spend more money on average than the Optimist. So when we are covering certain topics, you then get that diversity in our approaches, where I'm probably going for more of a pay-to-play approach, whereas the Optimist will kind of hold back and maybe talk through the free-to-play versions of doing it. I'm pretty sure I'm correct in saying that the only things you spend on is the Conquest Pass and the monthly pass, right?
Yeah, just so that everyone knows where I'm coming from. I do buy the cheap Conquest Pass, or I guess the cheaper version. I get the $10 Conquest Pass every iteration, and then with the new, I guess it's the new Battle Pass that comes, the Episode Pass. I do get both of those passes, and then whenever birthday, holiday comes up, and I get an Apple gift card, I'll spend some crystal. I'll spend on crystals there, or if there's like a really good deal in a pack. I might buy that back, but for the most part, it is just those passes there.
Right. So let's continue the introductions of ourselves here. Just so you guys know, at the moment, as of recording, I am in a guild called Undergeared. I joined this guild because of a friend of mine. When I came back to the game from my break, I needed a guild. And my friend said, well, this guild isn't too bad. You can join us. And so far, it's looking pretty good. So if anyone from the guild is listening, there's a shout out to you. Would you like to tell us about the guild you're in?
Yes, I am in the guild Barbarism Returns. I have been in Barbarism Returns for basically the entirety of my Galaxy of Heroes career. We are about 5. I'm looking at .gg right now for the stats. We're at 528 mil GP. We get 38 stars in Rise of the Empire. And we do about 219, 220 score. So we don't get we're not quite at the next box there, but we definitely clear. I think it's the 130 or what. I don't know the box level there, but we do okay in the raids there. But TB, we're really kicking it there. 38 stars, Mandalore, Zepho, and we do pretty well in TW. I think I don't know. We're not quite in the gauntlet rotation, but we're definitely above the casual rotation. So we do pretty well in TW, but love Barbarism Returns. They've been incredible as a guild. So definitely gotta shout out my boys.
You have been in there for a long time. I was in the Barbarism Alliance for a long time myself, but this is pushing on a few years since then. Right.
Yeah.
So, guys, we're not going to make this episode too long because it is just an introduction to get you guys back into the idea of what the podcast is. I thought I'd give you a little teaser to what our next episode is going to be like, which, like I said, the episodes will come out every other Wednesday. So 2 weeks from today, you'll be seeing that episode. And it is going to be all about account building foundations and how to develop a good roster. You guys can look forward to that. Obviously, we've shown you the accounts, we've explained why you can listen to us and the advice we can give. If you want to catch us anywhere else, and if you're in the barbarism server, then obviously the Optimist is there to answer questions. Other than that, is there anywhere people can reach you? I know it's not really your thing, but say.
You can find me on Discord. I'm the Optimist on Discord. YouTube, you can shoot me a message or however you can do that there. I am on all the other social media platforms, X, Instagram. Feel free to follow me or shoot me a DM there. I'm either under the Optimist or MDA Gaming, so whichever one there, but primarily Discord is probably going to be the best way to get in touch with me.
Okay. And
you can find me in the event server, most of the main SWGOH servers I'm in, so you can shoot me a DM there.
Awesome. And for myself, you can obviously follow me on YouTube. I do roster reviews once a week, which we go really in detail. Spend like half an hour a roster. It's crazy. And that's another reason why, we are qualified to talk about this. I mean, Optimus has built an amazing roster over the coming years. And obviously, I look at so many rosters. It's unbelievable how many I look at. So I feel like I know what to look for now when building an account. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening to the first of many to come. If you have any suggestions, please leave them down in the comments. Obviously, there's a chance that the suggestions or the changes may not come into effect until the second one. So not the next one you're going to see, the one after. Because due to time constraints, sometimes we have to record an episode back to back. This is another reason why we said we won't be too contemporary with what's happening, because otherwise it may just be out of date when it gets launched. That being said, if there is a big update drop, we have agreed that we will find the time to do a bonus episode for that. So, for example, say there was a new raid come out, we would most likely find the time to post an episode that week on the raid. But don't expect that to be a thing every time. We're planning every other week. Now, the last thing, guys, if you want to come on the show, please do reach out to either me or the Optimist. This is not just for YouTubers, although there are some who are either already interested in coming on or who we wish to approach. If you know someone who's a YouTube or content creator who you would like to come on, that would also be great. Or if you even have connections to people such as the Hot Utils, Hot Sauce, or someone like that, that would be amazing to bring on as well, because we want to try and be educational and informative with these podcasts. So bringing on people in the community who might not be content creators but are very skilled in what they do would be very useful. So if you know anyone like that or any connections, do reach out to us. And the final thing is, guys, you don't have to be a content creator at all to come on. We are going to have a show at some point. It's in the works. We're still developing the idea and the theme. But we are going to eventually have a discussion episode where we include different guild members. We're going to include guild leaders, guild officers, guild members, you name it. Anyway, loads of things to look forward to. The next episode is obviously going to be on account building and foundations. Anyways, guys, we both hope you enjoyed the podcast today. And if you did, hopefully, if you're watching on YouTube, you can like and subscribe. And if you're watching on Spotify, maybe you can watch the next one. Any last words?
Nope. It is at least Saturday night for me. You guys got about another day and a half on your conquest. Go push for that next crate.
Right.
Go get those feats in, watch some videos, and if you have any questions, you're not going to see this in time, but for next conquest, if you have any questions, just shoot me a DM. Otherwise, thanks for listening, guys, and hope you guys are along for the ride.
All right, cool. Thank you, guys, and as always, have a Glurmit day.